The day Hormuz closed, can India survive the world's most dangerous oil blockade as tension between Iran and United States and Israel pushed the Middle East toward a dangerous escalation? The strategic Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil choke points, has suddenly become the center of a global energy crisis, and India may be among the countries most exposed to fallout. Nearly half of the Indian's crude oil imports travel through this narrow maritime corridor between Iran and Oman, making it a vital lifetime for the country's energy security. With around 2.6 million barrels of crude oil per day arriving from Gulf producers this year alone, any disruption in the strait instantly creates anxiety in New Delhi's energy corridors. Reports indicate that dozens of ships, including Indian flagged vessels carrying over 1,000 seafarers, are currently stranded in the Persian Gulf as military tensions are warning from Iran's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps raise the risk for tankers attempting to pass through the region. Even though Tehran has not formally declared a shutdown of the strait, the threat alone has rattled global markets and forced policymakers to quietly prepare contingency plan. One immediate buffer for India lies in Russian crude oil shipments already floating across international waters. Meanwhile, Gulf nations themselves have attempted to create limited walkarounds to the Hormuz choke point through pipeline infrastructure designed to move crude oil to export terminals that bypass the trade. Saudi Arabia operates a massive east west pipeline carrying oil from its eastern fields to the Red Sea port of Yanbu, while the United Arab Emirates have developed a pipeline linked island oil fields to Fujairah export terminal on the Gulf of Oman. Egypt's Samd pipeline also offer another potential route connecting the Red Sea to the Mediterranean. However, despite these engineering efforts, the combined capacity of these pipelines still falls far short of replacing the enormous volumes of oil, but they cannot fully compensate for a prolonged shutdown for the strait. If the crisis stretches further, India may be forced to consider an uncomfortable but practical measure managing domestic energy demand. Certain industries and power plants that really rely heavily on oil and natural gas could temporarily switch to coal based power generation to reduce pressure on crude supply. Ultimately, if tension in the Middle East spiral into a prolonged disruption of global shipping routes, India's survival strategy will likely depend on a carefully balanced mix of Russian cargoes already at sea, increased shipment from Africa and Atlantic basin, limited pipeline flows from Gulf producers, and aggressive domestic demand management. The crisis surrounding the Strait of Hormuz is not just a regional conflict anymore. It is a stark reminder of how deeply global energy supply chains remain tied to a single narrow stretch of water and how quickly geopolitical tension can ripple across the world's largest economies.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.